All right. So, welcome into the space. We have some great folks with us tonight as I take this banner off the front of us. I'm excited about tonight. We have Miss Elena DeFalco with us, and we also have Miss Jacinda Wright. And those names are just in alphabetical order. I promise you, I love them both the same. I've been watching both of these women from afar and am excited to see what they are doing in their current life. Where they're going in their life, and then how they balance it all. So, if this is your first time joining us tonight, I welcome you into the full space of you showing up, wanting to balance yourself, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So, Elena, welcome, and Jacinda, welcome.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm better because y'all are here. Like, this is going to be so fun.
Yes.
So fun, so fun. So, this show is mainly about how we balance ourselves, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And this year, for the season three, I thought about all the balls that I juggle as a mom, as a wife, as a woman, a career person, all those different things. And I said, I cannot be the only one out here trying to figure it out as I go along, or reading books, or asking people how they've done it before. And so I wanted to be intentional in this season, bringing on women and men eventually to talk to us about how we're balancing these things. And first, I want you all to tell us who you are and what you bring to the stage and what all you're balancing. But before you even start talking, so I have some notes, and y'all know I need my glasses to read my notes, so don't come for me. But we have Miss Elena DeFalco, who is a broker, about 10 years, retired professor of physiology at UNC and CCU. She's homeschooling her two children, Roman 13 and Ray 9, and she's a devoted wife as well. She's an animal lover, and I can attest to that. She also has owned multiple businesses, and from New Jersey, left in 2005 and went to Rutgers. Did I say that right? Rutgers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. University. All right. And then we have Miss Jacinda Wright. And I just asked Jacinda about 5 minutes ago. I'm like, wait, I don't see the stuff about, like, do you have children? Like, tell me what's going on. And she has a son who's 14 in ninth grade. Oh my goodness, you have to tell us all about that. She is currently divorced and single. And y'all, she says no relationship. I didn't throw that out there. She did. But she is an ambitious and driven real estate influencer with a passion for providing great client experiences and building relationships to last a lifetime. They both have numerous accolades under their belt. I have watched them kind of soar from afar on social media, and I'm like, we need to learn some things from them. So, Elena, I'm going to let you kind of go first for the first 5 minutes. Tell us about who you are, what you do, and then Jacinda, we're going to bring you to the stage.
Yeah. So it's funny how I'm going to tell you about my today's self because I think yourself changes throughout the years. You grow and you learn, and but I'm going to tell you about my today's self and where I am because it's a little different from where I was. and all good things, right? We travel through this life, and we live and we learn and we grow. So
Mhm.
currently, I am a broker. I work for Keller Williams and full time. So this is my full time job. However, when I did enter into Keller Williams, I said my priority is my kids and homeschooling them, and I did that about 5 years ago. I started that, but my love and passion for real estate just grew and grew, and teaching other realtors how to be good with relationships with your clients, and at the same time educating them through it. So how do I balance all of that? Last year I sold 66 homes, which is I was top in my office,
Wow.
homeschooling my kids, going to every sporting event, supporting them through that, and um, still trying to work on myself. So, still getting
Yes.
my exercise in 4 days a week, cooking dinner when I can. That's still a struggle, though. I'm learning how to balance that part. Yeah, I'm trying to unload you. I think you try to unload the unnecessary, those things that don't fill your cup. How can I
Mm.
find a
Mhm.
replacement for that? Um, I think a year ago I got a cleaning lady to help me once a week, and because I do work very hard, and a different life coach told me I deserve that. So it took me a while, to accept that and say, you know
Mhm.
what? That does not fill my cup. And yes, I'd rather focus on my kids and my job and my clients. So, um, what questions? That's
Wow.
me
You
in a
know
nutshell.
what? Listen, I'm here for the cleaning lady, and you tell us how. And I'm here for all that. But I love the part where you talked about, being intentional for focusing on your children, your marriage, and then your work. And I heard those things, right? Which is all
Yeah.
this other stuff. Let me find somebody to help me do these things so I can fully be present. And that's amazing. So thank you for sharing that
Yeah.
with us. And we'll come back around to that.
Sure.
And how long have you been in the industry, Elena?
Almost 10 years now. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to bring Miss Jacinda to the
Yeah.
stage. We're going to set her free and turn her mic on. Jacinda, tell us a little bit about you and how you're balancing all that you do.
Okay, my name is Jacinda Wright. I am a realtor with Century 21 Broadhurst. I've been in real estate for 9.5 years. Absolutely love my career. I love working with people and helping people. As you stated before, I am also a single mom. I have a 14-year-old son. He's in ninth grade. And I am also a full-time caregiver to my mom. She is paralyzed from a stroke and cannot
Mm.
live on her own. So I have been responsible for her solely for the past 6 years. Um,
Wow.
that's a juggle, and
Yeah.
so I have wonderful caregivers who come in every day, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, and as needed, if I have a early event or a late event or a weekend event. Finding someone for overnight stuff is challenging. So sometimes I have to skip out on that type of fun. But just for me, having a routine, and I actually picked that up from my cousin who was a caregiver for me a couple of years ago. And she said, if you have a routine, no one can really shake you, because every day you know what you're going to do at these times. So my weekly routine is I get up about 4:45 and I have my me time, and I go to the gym at 5:30 and I work out, and that's my time. That's no clients, no kid, no mom calling me for anything. I'm just in there working out, sweating, and that's been a really good stress reliever for me for the past few years.
Okay,
And
wait a
then
minute. What time did you say you get up in the morning?
4:45.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay. All right. I know. I think it's important to hear that because a lot of times people just see the lights, the camera, and the action. They don't see the pre-work of you pouring into yourself before you
Right.
start to give to all these other people. So we're gonna come back to that 4:45.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna come
4:45.
back to that.
um, and that's really about it. I try to do a lot of community service work. I currently sit on the board of a Father's Place, which I love, love, love that organization, especially being a single mom. I think it's very important to have fathers in the household or father figures in children's lives. I recently got on the board of directors for Habitat for Humanity, and I'm super excited about that. We had our first meeting last week, and I got to meet my other board members and just kind of get an idea of what we will be doing throughout the year. I'm on the Women's Council of Realtors for the Grand Strand. That is a great organization. So I like to be involved and give back to the community as much as I can when I can. I just feel like that's a civic duty of mine, not to just sell the community, but also to serve the community. So that's me.
Well, you know what? You both are going above and beyond. Sometimes we just do what's been assigned to us. Like if we're a mom or a wife, we just do those things. If you're a caregiver, you just do that one thing so you can make sure you do it, to the best of your ability. But what I hear is it is possible to do multiple things and to be there for multiple people and still excel. And that's what I really want to make sure we start to talk about. To carry all that you all carry, we're going to first talk about the mind, the emotions, the mentality around it all, and then we'll go to the soul and spirit, the mind, body, soul, and spirit. So with the mind, with mentality, the emotions, what it takes for you, just and I just heard you say, 4:45 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning, Elena. I heard you say, like, I have someone to come clean and make sure these things are done. Like, tell me about how waking up that early and Elena, your schedule and what you do to keep things in a mental perspective to be able to do all you do.
You want to go first, Jacinda, or me?
I don't care. I can. So 4:45 for me, that's quiet. It's quiet. It's really, really quiet at that time because most people still asleep. Mm-hmm. That gives me the chance to get up before everyone else in my household, to get ready to go to the gym, to pray, meditate, and just have some quiet time to set the tone for my day. Okay. That like I said, my cousin said a couple of years ago, have a routine. So that's my routine, and just staying on that. And if I can't do that for whatever reason, then I have to have that quiet time. I have to have like 5 minutes where I'm just at peace, meditation for the day. Because like I said, it sets the tone for the day. You either gonna wake up and it's gonna be a good day or a bad day. You're gonna decide that. So
you feel like by you getting up at this time and being intentional, I remember there was a book a long time ago by her name's Dr. Cindy Trim, and she talks about commanding your morning. And I think it sounds like that's what you're doing. You're stepping up intentionally to command, to require, to put forth the energy and the words out there that you want to hear and see on your day. And so that's amazing. And I'm sure that's going to help so many people here in the space to begin to create some type of morning ritual and routine. Elena, tell us a little bit about what routine, ritual, or processes you use to get where you need to be in your mental space.
It's definitely, I'm going to talk about mindset a little bit, but as Jacinda knows, our career is different every day. Our routine is different every day. Although, you have a certain set of things that you may do, you also may get a call out of the blue. And if it's, as she knows, sometimes it's get the call, okay, we're off, and our scheduled routine changes like that. So it is difficult sometimes to keep that routine. For myself, I have, but every day and each day is a new day. And I love that Jacinda said that. And that mindset, growth mindset is key with anything that you do. So if you go into it overwhelmed or it's all here, really, that yes, I can handle it. And if you feel overwhelmed or you're
Mhm.
not set, then yeah, reset. Always take a step back and reset. But I wish I had
So,
more of a routine like Jacinth, but I don't. So,
but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of
Yeah.
it. It's different for everybody. And I heard you use the term kind of step back and reset. And I think that's important as well. Not only commanding your morning or standing up and getting up earlier to pour into yourself, but also be okay with kind of taking that step back, right? And to reset. There's a word I used to use a lot, reprieve. And a lot of people go, oh, like I'm just gonna take a reprieve. And I'm like, no, honey, when you take a reprieve, that's when you're dealing with the consequences of you not taking a retreat. And so, with that, what I heard you say was it's okay to kind of just take a step back and look at everything and then go back um, to attend to whatever it is you choose. In the process of, I talk a lot about cleaning your plate. You know, how parents just be like, you're going to eat everything on your plate, right? But sometimes we have too much on our plate or it's not portioned well. And so sometimes we have to take it all off to put it back on. And so I wonder for you too, what does it look like for you when it comes to being able to decide what's the most important thing for you at a given moment? Talk to us a little bit about that. And just so you can go first.
Why I have to go first? Okay.
you want me to start? I have a good one.
So yeah, I think prioritizing necessary things is important always. So if I'm dealing with buyers and they want to see something in Georgetown, in Little River, in Myrtle Beach, in Conway, wait a minute. We're going to have to structure this. We might have to take a couple of days. We might have to see 2 today.
Okay.
$6 over here. We might have to see 2 tomorrow. It just depends. So
Okay.
I think it's a matter of the importance level of things. Some things are high priority. Some things are not high priority. And just organize your task in a priority.
Okay. And so even when showing houses during the day, it is what's important, what's closer to you, what's closer to them, and then how far we're going and having a routine or at least a strategy, right? To make that happen.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Elena, tell us about for you what that looks like.
I think Jacinda will agree. It's the power of no.
Oh God, yes.
And not filling your plate or eating too much sometimes. Or even with dealing with clients, if you allow them to, they'll run you all over the county. But the power of no, when you know that you are an influencer or a leader, and people try to pull you in 500 different directions, it's okay to sit back and say no, and your priorities. My children are my priorities. So if work, I am a high producer, so a lot of the times I get dragged into interviews and mentorships. And I was there as a broker before, so I have learned, and I'm still learning, to say no. My kids are first, and I'll help when I can. But that's important. Yeah.
So priorities and making sure you verbalize those priorities are important as well. Is that what I'm hearing? And so that's even in a balance of work life and home life. And so Jacinda, with you having a son, how old did you say he was again?
14.
14 years old, and you take care of your mom, full-time caregiver. Like, tell me how, like, I'm wondering, like, what happens if somebody needs you between the two of them, right? And you have work. How do you balance that?
So, like I said, I do have caregivers that come in during the day, and that is a big help. But if one of them is out sick or out for some reason, an emergency happens, and then I have to kind of balance everything, it's just my son goes to school. My mom is probably still in the bed around 7:40, 7:45. So when I get back from dropping him off, I'll get her up. And then that's when I'm working from home. So earbuds in, ready to take a call. And she has a routine. She has things that she does at certain times. So that's helpful to me. So I know if I'm here with her during the day from 9 to 10, that's her meds, her breakfast, and then I've got time to focus on client calls or emails or text or what have you from 10 to about 12.
Okay.
And then about 12, she's gonna need to do lunch and she'll be ready to shower and all of that. So from 12 to 1, I'll be honed in on her. And then from 1 to 3, it's kind of back and forth, whether it's talking to clients, doing an email, reading whatever I need to read, looking over whatever I need to look over. Then about 3 o'clock, I'm gonna go pick up my son. That's gonna take me about an hour to get in and out of the line. And she's okay for an hour by herself, and then I'm back here. So it sometimes I have to do that. I don't like those days now, but sometimes I have to do that. So yeah.
So I was listening to you talk, and I'm like, you're telling me all about what happens in your day, and I'm like, is she going to take a breath? Like, is she going to breathe? No, because that's how our days are, right? It's boom, 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 or I got to do this, and I got to make sure this person's at this place at this time to make sure this works well. And then it's like, when the day is finally over, probably not until you go to bed. Like, do you fully take the full breath again? Do you know what I'm talking about? How does that show up for y'all?
You say, Alana, how do you take your breath?
Oh, goodness. How do I take my breath?
Mm.
I don't think everybody asked me that question
You
before.
just did it. You just did it.
I don't get up at 4:45, so I take my breath probably. Probably at night. I take the time a little bit before bed, and then I'll wake up in a couple minutes. We don't have to rush out to school, so that's a blessing.
Yeah.
We probably start our day at 8 a.m. So I do have time before that to myself. And, then from 8 to, it is fortunate when you do homeschool, it does not take all day. Literally takes maybe 2 hours for the actual school part. So 8 to 10, working with them. 9 to 12, probably, and I know they're 9 and 13, almost 14, so they're kind of self-sufficient with school. I'm their learning coach. I'm not their teacher. So I can still work at the same time. So that's 9 to 12, 12 to 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'll probably on appointments. Then I'm the taxi for sports. So from 3 o'clock on, that's sports time for us. Dinner, that's the part I struggle with. So I sometimes crock pot is my friend. I'm still working on that. So quick dinners, we try not to eat out that much. That's a huge priority for me, but we do once in a while. It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's,
I don't know. I don't think about taking a breath.
think about taking a breath. Well, let me say this though, because I remember when I first met you, it wasn't through the housing market and realtor stuff. It was around realty stuff. It was around fitness and taking care of your body. And that's where I want to go next in this conversation, because all of our ways that we take a breath it's different. Right. And so I know something that you're very intentional on is, and Jacinda as well, because I watch you jump up and anyway, you do all kind of stuff when it comes to fitness. And I watch Elena do some I'm going to use these terms, badass stuff in the gym as well. So tell me about that and how you both use that as a way to structure, reframe, or to pour into yourself, taking care of your body.
You can go, Jacinda. Go ahead.
Health is wealth, right? So in order to be effective and efficient and really run as hard as we run, you have to be healthy. And that's not just physical health, that's mental health. So when you're working out, you're training your mind as well as your body. And it could be holistic, it could be spiritual, whatever, but health is wealth. So in order to be effective and to take on so many different tasks, we have to be sharp. We have to be, you have to be ready to go at any time.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. As I get us back up to where I can see everybody. So Elena, tell us about your workout life. It's
That
just different. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just different. I'm saying it's different because I don't have I don't know what it is. It's a drive. It's different. You have something that's different. I watched it for years. I've watched it for over 7 years. And so I just want to say that to you. Tell us about your drive and what happens when you decide to work out or go to the gym and what that looks and sounds like.
I wish I can learn. Now, obviously, my background, I was a physiology nutrition professor for 15 years. So I cannot tell you when it actually started for me though. I do remember I was 20. One of my first jobs was a fitness director for a YMCA. And I don't know why and how, but it was just embedded in my brain, and I saw the benefits both physically and mentally of strength training. So that's my main key. I'm not a runner unless I'm chased. I strictly strength training, and I've done that. I'm 45 now, so I've done it since I was 20. Things don't happen overnight. I certainly don't go as hard as I used to either, but it's maintenance right now for me. And I hope to be that 75-year-old in the gym still lifting weights. That's my goal, but that is something I hope to always do. Yeah.
It sounds like it is a way of life for you, and it's something that you have adopted that is almost like a grounding and centering work. And so that maybe that is your breath.
It
Maybe
could
that is your
could
breath.
be, and it feels very out of place if I'm not doing it.
Mm,
So yeah, it's like eating,
yeah,
sleeping, yeah, drinking, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm wondering, let me see if we have any comments from any folks. I want you to tell us a little bit about, because you are in the housing market. And Elena, you've had the opportunity to go with me and my husband on our journey for a couple years until we finally was like, yep, this is it. And we were right where we needed to be. And so I thank you for being there for us during that process. And so with saying that, I want to hear from you, Elena, with what you see right now, like for those who may be trying to go into the housing market, rather, let's say this on the career side, what does that look like? And how is that possible? And is this a good time to try?
Oh boy. So
And Jacinda, you're going to
I
come right
think
behind her and give us your thought on it.
I think now I'm a mentor for a lot of newer agents, so I'll start there.
Okay.
And first of all, mindset will get in the way for anybody in this field.
Mhm.
It does not happen overnight. You do not get, your license and start selling right away. So there's at least number one, you have to find the right place that fits for you. Everybody's goal is different. Some
Okay.
people want to sell 6 homes a year. Some people, I want to sell the most I can, at least for right now, not forever, maybe.
Mhm.
And so, number one, what is your goal as a person? Because that will help you choose the right fit as a brokerage. Number one. Number two, there's no magic pill. There's no magic sauce of selling. You have, as far as, um, a place that's just going to dish out leads for you and just like that, you're going to get a sale. It doesn't work like that. You have to be very personable. You have to learn to connect with people. If you cannot connect my biggest pet peeve, Jacinda can probably relate with me. If you're calling or cold calling, which is part of it, and you sound like a salesman, you're going to lose that person.
Mhm.
So, versus, me calling somebody, I recognize their area code, or maybe I took a second and I looked them up where they're from, maybe LinkedIn, what they do, maybe on Facebook, and I saw something relatable to me. And I brought that up in the first 3 seconds of the conversation. They're not going to discredit me. I just built that connection and conversation immediately. So, so many new agents, hey, this is Sarah from XYZ Realty. Are you still looking, are you still interested in real estate in the Myrtle Beach area? That's it. You know, so making a connection. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, I guess. But what did you ask me?
I was going to let you go because I'm like, you actually started out where you were supposed to be, and you went on to the next question I was going to ask. So I just thought I'd let you keep going. So it's okay.
You said, is it a good time to get into it? I think ultimately the short question is, it's always a good time. Maybe just so they could talk about, the market's going to go up and down. You, as a good agent, you're going to go through that. If, like Jacinda's in it the same amount of time I was, you're going to see ups and downs. But it's the strong ones, the ones that can connect and be personable, that are going to stick through the ups and downs. Okay. In a nutshell.
No, thank
if
you.
there is a nutshell with what we do, I don't know.
That's a whole nother conversation too, because I can only imagine the ups and the downs and watching them, marketing from the outside. And sometimes I'm clutching my pearls, at other times I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong business. So Jacinda, tell me what you think, and how do you get into this business, or what was your experience, and what do you recommend right now?
I would say it's a good time when it's a good time for the individual person. If somebody wants to get into it and they feel like the time is right for them, go ahead. I will say there is no one way to sell real estate. There is no one way to do a real estate transaction. Everybody has a different method. Everybody has a different style. Everybody does what works for them. So what Elena said about people coming in and they think it's television and you're automatically just a success, you have to work. And you have to be able to take a whole bunch of no's before you get any yeses. And one thing, I do not do any type of training. I don't think I'm the person for that, because I will say, don't come in with a commission breath, which is, don't come in thinking everybody you talk to, you're going to get a check from them, because people can feel that, they can sense that, they do not like that. And for me, it's all about just going with the flow and building a connection with the person, and seeing where it goes from there, because everybody isn't going to want to work with me. Everybody isn't going to, I might not want to work with everybody. You have to see the people that are right for you. And I think that a lot of times newer agents get overwhelmed because it's a lot to learn at first. You have to learn how to read a contract. You have to learn how to write a contract. Then you're learning how to talk to people, and you're trying to develop your sense of style you might not know. Nobody goes into real estate. I don't even care if you study for it for a million years. Nobody goes in knowing what they're doing, because you can't. You can't know. You have to do it before you know what you're doing.
Well, you've heard it from these ladies' mouths. I won't use the phrase because they're not horses, but you've heard it. And I think what's important for us to know is that it sounds like if you're wanting to go into this business, you've got to really know this is what you want to do, and you've got to stick to it long enough to see if it works for you. And you got to be able to go through the ups and the downs of what's happening in the market, as well as find who you are in the business. So it's almost like any other trade, which is find your niche and then go with it. Find your right person and buyer and the type of market, and then work through it. So thank you for, I'm going to say, debunking some of the myths that we think about when we see, people. I've watched some things on both of you, and you both have got some accolades recently, in your field. So tell us a little bit about, I just want people to know who we're really talking to here, and why you have been chosen to give us this expertise on the Soul Healing Coach podcast. Like, Elena, tell me the recent last accolade you just got, award you just received, and Jacinda, you've got a couple under your belt as well.
You mean the top producer of the company? That one?
Yes. You've got one or two recently, I saw. And it was something you went, I think, in the Southeast or something as well.
Keller
I know you
Williams.
don't like to talk about it, but I'm asking you to.
Yeah. Keller Williams has a certain number of full-time agents that solely do this alone. There's about 800 and something in the United States, and I was number one out of all.
Hey.
So, yeah,
Wow!
that's
Congratulations!
awesome. Yeah, but I
I'm gonna get a-
I don't do it for that. I actually hate when my CEO says, uses my name or uses me as an example. I do it for me and my family, and that's and when you don't have commission breath and you do actually make a connection with people and a relationship, the money that's second, and when you're really personable and passionate, everything else just falls into place. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? On this show, we celebrate ourselves. So we're gonna give you the double claps and the whoop whoop because
Thank you.
you did the hard work. And of course, divine and the universe and all these things work together for the good of them who love God. And I believe in this sense that you still have to do the work. I don't care how much faith you have. I don't care how much studying you've done. I think Jacinda said this not too long ago. It's about the work that you do as well. So it's okay. We're going to celebrate you here in this space. So thank you for telling us about that.
Thank you.
Jacinda, you've got a couple under your belt as well. Tell us about. We want me to. Well, you sent me bio. I can just your whole face on it. Because I see quality service producer in 2015, quality service pinnacle producer in 2016, 2017, C21 Masters Ruby Award in 2016 through 2020. And C21 Masters Emerald Award 2021 and the best of Myrtle Beach real estate agent for 2023. So I'm just gonna call it as it is because I'm sitting here looking at them.
Right.
So congratulations to
Yeah.
you. Woo-hoo! Congratulations. Yeah, but you know what? And the reason I people are like, well, what is that about? Because you know what? As we mature, we're not gonna say older, as we mature and life goes on. Sometimes, we go, oh, I got that. And we just stick it in the bag or we throw it on the counter. We don't hang it up anymore. We don't have the parties. We don't do the full celebrations. Right. And I understand we do it for family, but it's okay. Like to turn up and enjoy it because you worked hard for it. So Jacinda, tell us about how you celebrate your success and what's happening in your life. Do you?
No. I don't. I am so like Alana. Like I don't like people to say that because I it's like, okay, I did it, but now it's something else to do. I don't do it for that. Like it comes with it, of course, right, because I work hard, but I definitely don't do it for any awards or anything. So do I celebrate it? I do not. And I hate to be recognized. I hate for some.
Oh no. Okay.
Maybe so that's something in our mind. I don't know. But yeah, it's like I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks. Because
yeah,
I appreciate it and I appreciate the recognition, but to make like hurrah about it, it's kind of the regular.
Right. Oh wait, now you just said something.
I think you set a standard for yourself, really.
Okay.
But that's
yes. Okay, but wait, I'm still okay, and maybe this is my coach and counselor mind now that's like, but wait, you set a goal, you have a standard for yourself, you work so freaking hard to get to that goal and that standard, then you not only get there and know you've gotten there because you probably have the monetary value as well to go along with that, but then you also have where your colleagues or your boss or whoever in the state, region, the city, whatever has said that you or this person, now we know a man gives you something, man can take it away or it goes to somebody else the next year. But the fact that that's like something that you've accomplished, and then it's like, oh, okay, I know you set the bar, but if you don't celebrate those small moments, because even if it's small for you, but it's huge for others, right? Even if it's huge for you, I'm going to take that back. It's huge for you. And if you're not fully sitting in it, the caregiving, the taking care of the kids, the hubby, all these other things that you do, that the mentoring or going house to house to sell these homes, if you don't stop for a little bit and pause, not just to smell the roses, like go buy the freaking biggest bouquet you can find of whatever, whether it's an exercise bike, because I'm like, that's probably what you're gonna buy. I'm still trying to figure out what you would do, but just go do it. Go do it. We gotta have a party. Like, this is what I'm feeling, is that
We're all going out. There you go.
Oh man.
you gotta do it. You know how many people, and I want you to think about this when you're in front of that room and you're getting that award or that accolade, right? And it's not for you to be there for other people, but other people watching you receive the very thing that they probably worked their butts off for. And do you ever have that moment? And this is not vanity. This is not vanity. It's not what this is. Where you go home and you get behind the closed door and you like, I did that. Did I do that? Do you have that moment?
I have to be honest. I like my kids to see what mommy does. That makes me feel so.
Very good. Yeah. Okay. And so when your children like see it and they respond, how do they respond to it when they see you get an award or whatever?
Well, I mean, every month, like, we have a leaderboard, and my daughter will always ask, "Mommy, are you at the top?" Or that makes me feel good. Like, that's
That
all.
makes me feel good. So to receive the appreciation or the acknowledgement from your child makes you feel good. Just I know does the same thing happen for you?
Yeah, I might tell my son, look, I got this, but he's a teenager and he's like, oh, that's nice. It's
That's so
when you figure that, oh, that's nice. I will say, I do have a friend group, and we may get together every now and again when all of us have time, and we'll come together and we'll be like, oh, you did this, oh, you did that, congrats. And we will celebrate ourselves in that way. But it's not just about the awards. It's, man, we had a tough first quarter. Let's get together, you guys, And so we do that. I'm more into that. And, we do have award ceremonies and all of that stuff. So we get claps and all of that. We actually have that coming up here soon for the Century 21 franchise. So we celebrate ourselves in a way.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for me personally, do I say, oh, yes, I did it? I might feel good about myself, but,
It feels good, yeah. It feels good. But
it feels good. Okay. All right.
We're very...
I think that's enough, but all right. Okay. All right. The rah-rah cheerleader in me is just like, I need you to pour you something in a glass. I don't care if it's water. And it needs to be the prettiest glass ever. And you need to sit there with whatever it is you want and take 5 minutes to be mindful, to reflect on all the work it took to get it. And then also acknowledge all the sacrifices you made to get there. Because a lot of times we're waiting for that one big thing, but we're not aware when the big thing comes because we've not celebrated the smaller moments. And so, or it's like, oh, this was it. Well, because you didn't celebrate the individuals before you got to the big thing. I'm just saying, y'all, come on, just get a little bit.
I will do it this time just for you. I'm going to take a picture and everything.
Oh, I'm so happy. It makes me feel so good. And it's not about, it's not about pleasing Angel or the soul healing coach. It's about this. And this is what the balancing act, a part of this is, because you two are very high achievers. And so something I'm watching in millennials and the Generation X, y'all, I'm all over the place with this whole generational thing. Anyway, in the sense of, oh my gosh, like, checking the boxes and just doing things because it's required and not fully looking up at the achievement or not fully being in the moment, or it's like, oh yeah, I got a trophy. Okay, keep going. And so at that point, then it sets a very high bar for what they need in order to be impressed or to feel that they've achieved something. And so I think that's probably where that's coming from. I got off on a tangent, which I always
I
do. And
like it
that's why we're
though,
here.
because I just took all of that in, like, okay, wait, I need to savor the moment a little bit more and just be a little bit more mindful in a
Hmm.
receipt of that. And I will do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I feel like we've achieved something here tonight. I've learned a lot from you too. And so we do something at the end called dropping the jewels, which is where you get a minute or two to say what it is you want to say to the world, because this is live in the United States, and we also have some watchers over in Nigeria and Australia, and I forget the other place. So y'all, I'm so sorry. I got to go look at the things again and make sure I have everybody. And thank you all for watching in all these different places. But if you had a chance, what you do, this is it right here, to drop the jewels on balance in mind, body, soul, and spirit. What is it that you would leave with us? And who wants to go first? And I'm going to put you on, and you're going to just talk to us. Like, if this was the last time you had a chance to just say, this is it, and this is what I learned about balance, and this is what I'm using, what would that be?
Who's
Who
first?
wants-
You first.
I'm first. Okay.
You're first.
Something I think the world should know is, number one, always do things that you're passionate about, that speaks to your soul. Take any negativity as a lesson, but not to endure it. Take it and put it aside. Strive for your goals always. There is no can't, it's only mindset. If truly, if you're not passionate about what you're going to want to do, or then it wasn't meant to be. But it's truly mindset, and you can really do anything that you put your mind to. It's what do you really want to do. There is no can't. And I'm just going to preface to get the negative away, out of your way, out of your road, out of your path, and focus on the positive, focus on the growth, and just keep smiling. Connect with people always. And if they were only meant to be there for a second, then great. Take from it what you were supposed to, and and just keep going, keep moving forward, never stop. That's all I got. I was a little pressured, I don't know.
It's kind of like being in the hot seat, but you did very well. And I really took a part of that, about if they're only there for a moment, then that's what it will be. And so I think that was a little part I needed to hear. So thank you for sharing that. All right. Jacinda, I'm going to put you on and let you drop your jewels.
Be who you are, be authentic to you. If you don't agree with something, don't go with it. And if you stand for something, stand with it truly, no matter what that is. You will never go wrong with being who you are. Always be willing to listen, always be willing to learn, always be able to be teachable, because you are not always right. I learned a lot just on this tonight, so I'm thankful to do that. And be thankful and present in everything you do. I think that's very important. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, just as a life rule, just be yourself, and you will attract the right people and the right things by being authentically who you are. Don't try to fit in. If it's not your crowd, that's okay. That's it.
Well, I thank you ladies for dropping the jewels. We started doing that about 3 episodes ago, and let me tell you, it just makes everything all right, and it also gives us a great wrap up. I thank you both for being here. And as I am trying to take this ticker off the bottom of this thing, I thank you for being here, and I thank you for the insight that you have shared with everybody. And I tell you what, there's nothing like um, hearing it from the mouth of those who are actually living it. And so I don't know, who will see this or how it will show up for them, but I tell you what, you've changed my life by giving me 45 minutes of your time to just pick your brains and your heart and your soul and spirit to see what's there. And we want to close out tonight by going over into that last little piece that we really didn't hit on, but I'm going there now. And so when you go over into soul and the spirit of what it is you do daily, how does that show up for you? And how do you make that transparent in how you live your life? How does that show up for you?
Why you ask
Ooh.
us the hard questions at the end?
You just into this.
I know that's a deep one, but we're gonna go there. Come on, we can do it. We can do it.
I think for me, being able to sometimes be eyes and ears for my clients, because we are a city that people migrate from other places to a lot. So for me to be held accountable, to be eyes and ears for people when they can't see, and to help them make decisions, whether it's a home inspection or should they get this repair or should they leave that out or whatever. For me, that's important because it adds value to me because they value me that much to trust me to make their decisions. I want to give an example, and I don't know if this fits, but maybe it does. So I had a call the other day, and it was a potential client. And she said, "Oh, you called me. I was just looking over your profile." And she and I began to speak, and she told me that she did a lot of nonprofit work wherever she was from. And I said, "You know what? I work with a Father's Place, and maybe we could use you." Had a meeting, and a position right along the lines of what she did was open and available. I told her, she sent me her resume. I sent it to a Father's Place, and I think she's got an interview coming up. And that just came from a real estate almost transaction, just an inquiry, really. So to me, building lasting connections and making an impact, even if it's for a moment, because she may not even buy anything, but at least we had that conversation and that connection to get her to another level that she might have wanted to be, and we'll see how that works out. So making authentic, real connections, no matter what, is very important.
I like it. I like it a lot. That was definitely right, spot on. And I always tell people there are no right or wrong answers here. It's whatever comes up for you. Okay, Elena, you're in the hot seat. Tell me about how this shows up for you in soul and spirit.
I one of my nicknames is the bridge,
Mm.
and whether it be real estate related or sometimes it starts real estate related, and then like Jacinda said, I love making those connections with people. Whether we're not just real estate agents, but we're solving problems for people.
Mhm.
So there's so many different reasons and roadblocks why they cannot make the move, even though they want to. So maybe it's a job connection, maybe it's a finance connection, maybe it's just I love connecting the people. Sometimes it's creating positions within businesses that they never even thought about. So I love, love, love being the bridge
Mhm.
for multiple people in this role. So
I
that's
love it. I love it. And I tell you what, and that's what I've learned about you is, yeah, you are a bridge. And
Mhm.
sometimes sometimes it's just like an answer, right? Or try this person. And I tell you what, I thank you both because we moved out where we are now, and I tell you, there's so many more homes out here now than there were a year ago. And so, what you all are doing on a daily basis is absolutely amazing. And the fact of how you're handling all this growth in our area is also amazing. So, I just want to say kudos to you for what you do. And I ask that you continue to balance it all and, share it with us on a continuous basis. We will have what I call a roundup after the first quarter of the year. We will invite you to come back and share in a larger panel and share anything that you would like to tell us about what's currently happening in your life. For mind, body, soul, and spirit, and balancing it all. So thank you all for watching. This has been a phenomenal double hitter episode on the Soul Healing Coach podcast. And I thank you all for watching as we've learned from Jacinda and Elena about how we balance it all. And as we are women in the career field and or professional, or maybe you are a mom who is doing the thing. I was going to say something else. Y'all know my mouth. And I just want to give you kudos for continuously doing what you need to do on a daily basis to be who you are and how you show up in the world. And I always say being a mom should be the highest paid job in this world. And one day maybe we'll get paid just for that. But you all please continue to like, follow, share, and subscribe for the Soul Healing Coach podcast. And please go like, follow, and share and subscribe on the YouTube channel. All right, y'all take care and be well. And you know that my closing is, beloved, I wish that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Take care, y'all, and be well.
Bye.